A former Nickelodeon child star has become the focus of widespread attention after new details emerged about a tragic hit-and-run incident. Fans who grew up watching her are now asking the same question. How did this happen, and why does this case feel different from so many others? According to publicly available reports, Kianna Underwood, who was known for her early work as a child actor on Nickelodeon, was involved in a fatal hit-and-run incident that is now under active investigation. As news of the incident spread, reactions came quickly. Many people expressed shock, confusion, and sadness. Others revisited clips and photos from her early career, remembering a familiar face from their childhood. What makes this story especially striking is not just who she was, but the unanswered questions surrounding the incident. At the time of reporting, authorities have stated that the investigation is ongoing, and no final conclusions have been announced. This uncertainty has contributed to the growing attention around the case. Kianna Underwood was part of a generation of child performers who entered the spotlight at a very young age. Like many young actors, she experienced early visibility, public recognition, and the pressures that come with growing up in front of an audience. Over time, she stepped away from the public eye. Her later life was largely private, which made the sudden return of her name to headlines even more jarring for many fans. According to reports, the incident occurred during normal daily activity, not during a public event or professional appearance. That detail alone made the story resonate with a wider audience. It felt closer to everyday life. Authorities have described the situation as a hit, meaning the vehicle involved left the scene. Cases like this often involve multiple layers of investigation, including witness statements, surveillance footage, and forensic analysis. Law enforcement officials have emphasized that such investigations take time. In the hours following the release of new information, social media platforms were filled with speculation. However, it's important to separate confirmed information from assumptions. So far, officials have shared only limited details, focusing on what can be verified. This has not stopped public interest from growing. Former child stars occupy a unique place in pop culture. They represent nostalgia, innocence, and a specific moment in time for many viewers. When something tragic happens to someone associated with those memories, the emotional impact can be strong. In Kianna Underwood's case, many fans expressed that they remembered her as someone who brought joy during their childhood. That emotional connection explains why the story spread quickly. It wasn't just about a news headline. It was about a person people felt they knew. Media outlets covering the story have been careful to use protective language, often stating, according to reports, or authorities have said, rather than drawing conclusions. This is especially important in ongoing investigations. Hit-and-run cases can be complex. They may involve multiple vehicles, unclear timelines, or incomplete evidence at the early stages. Investigators often rely on public assistance, asking anyone with information to come forward in many cases. Breakthroughs happen days or even weeks later. The renewed attention around this case has also sparked broader conversations. People are discussing road safety, pedestrian awareness, and the responsibilities drivers have in emergency situations. Some fans have pointed out how his everyday moments can turn tragic. Others have expressed frustration about how often hit-and-run incidents occur without immediate resolution. While emotions are understandably high, authorities continue to stress patience. They have stated that investigations must follow procedure and that premature conclusions can interfere with the process at this stage. The focus remains on gathering facts. Kianna Underwood's career, while relatively brief, left an impression. Her work as a child actor placed her in the public eye early, but her later years were marked by privacy. This contrast between early fame and later anonymity has become part of the conversation. People are reflecting on how child stardom can shape a life in unexpected ways. The story is still unfolding. And as new details continue to emerge, attention remains fixed on what investigators will uncover next. That leads directly into the next part of this story. Because beyond the headlines, there is a larger discussion about why cases like this resonate so deeply, and what happens next when public memory, tragedy, and unanswered questions collide. As the investigation into Kianna Underwood's death continues, many people are asking why this story has captured so much attention. Part of the answer lies in how society views former child stars. They are often remembered frozen in time. Audiences associate them with a specific age, a specific role, and a specific feeling. When reality clashes with that image, the emotional impact can be intense. In this case, the sudden reappearance of Kianna Underwood's name in the news forced many people to confront the gap between memory and reality. She was no longer the child actor they remembered, but a real person navigating adult life. That contrast makes stories like this feel personal, even to people who never met her. Another factor is the nature of hit-and-run incidents themselves. They often leave families and communities without immediate answers. The absence of closure can create frustration and a sense of injustice. Unlike other types of incidents, hit-and-run cases involve not only loss, but also unanswered responsibility. This uncertainty fuels public interest. People want to know what happened. They want to know if accountability will follow. Authorities have continued to stress that investigations are ongoing and that any updates will be shared through official channels. In the meantime, they have encouraged the public to avoid speculation. Speculation, while common on social media, can spread misinformation and complicate investigations. Media coverage has reflected this caution. Most outlets have focused on confirmed timelines, official statements, and verified background information. This careful approach helps maintain respect for those involved, while keeping the public informed. The case has also discussions about the long-term effects of early fame. Former child actors often face unique challenges as they grow older. Public expectations, loss of privacy, and the difficulty of transitioning to adult life can all play a role. While no single factor defines a person's life, these challenges are frequently revisited when tragedies occur. It's important, however, not to reduce someone's life to their public image. Kianna Underwood was more than her childhood roles. She was an individual with her own experiences, relationships, and path. Remembering that helps keep the conversation grounded and respectful. In recent days, fans have shared messages of remembrance rather than speculation. Many have focused on honoring her memory instead of drawing conclusions. This shift reflects growing awareness of how online discussions can impact real people. At the same time, the case has highlighted the importance of road safety awareness. Advocacy groups have used the moment to remind drivers and pedestrians alike about caution, responsibility, and awareness. While no message can undo what happened, these conversations can influence future behavior. From an industry perspective, stories like this also prompt reflection, entertainment. History is filled with child stars whose lives took unexpected turns. Some transitioned smoothly into adulthood. Others chose private lives away from the spotlight. Each story is different, but public reaction often follows similar patterns: shock, reflection, and a search for meaning. As authorities continue their work, the hope remains that clarity will come. Until then, the focus remains on facts, not assumptions. This approach respects both the investigation and the people affected. Ultimately, the story of Kianna Underwood is a reminder of how fragile life can be, and how closely entertainment, memory, and reality are intertwined. It also shows how public attention can shift from nostalgia to serious reflection in a matter of hours. As more information becomes available, Official updates will continue to shape the narrative. Until that time, responsible reporting and thoughtful discussion remain essential. What happens next will depend on the findings of the investigation. But regardless of the outcome, the impact of this story is already clear. It has sparked conversation, reflection, and a renewed focus on accountability and safety. And it serves as a reminder that behind every headline is a human story that deserves care, accuracy, and respect.